Hey, this is Tim. Today we'll be doing a 99 Ranger. Gonna be doing the AC compressor right down here. I'm gonna take the battery out. I'll take this breather hose out so I can get the belt easier. So I'm gonna take the belt off. I'm gonna take this battery out. We're gonna pull this power steering reservoir off, and we'll move it to the side. I'll show you that, and then we'll start taking the compressor off. We got 4 bolts on the compressor, and I will show you that here in just a second. Okay, you got 4 bolts. I got a little bit of that dye on me. It wasn't but a drop left in here from that leak. The compressor was leaking all in the seal. It was leaking all right up in here, in the middle of it, and the front seal of it. That's the dye that you seen I put in there. But you got 4 bolts, and then you got your 1 bolt on the back holding your line on. This is your line right here. They're together. Your low side, high side, one line with your high pressure sensor on it. And this is your valve here, pressure valve. You just take that 1 10mm off. You don't even got to take it all the way off. It's got a little slot in it. But I took mine all the way off. Make sure you change all these O-rings when you get the new one. Or if you ain't changing it, you still need to change these O-rings. I'm telling you. Last thing you want is something leaking right after you put a new part on or change something. I mean, that's the most aggravating thing in the world. So make sure you do that. You got 4 bolts. You got 2 bolts on the bottom. You'll have to take this out right here. You have a little 10mm on the little one right here, and then they're all 13s, and then it'll just pull down and pull right off. And I will show you that, and I'm gonna clean all this up, and then as soon as the new one comes in from FedEx, we'll throw it on and I'll show you that. Oh yeah, make sure that you plug off your power steering. I just got a little brake plug there, a little hose plug. All you gotta do is take the bottom hose off, plug it off, and move the reservoir out of your way so you can get to everything. But that's pretty much it for right now, and I'll show you how the new one goes. A lot of people won't tell you this. They'll just bypass it or whatever and think you already know. But if you don't pull all the studs all the way out, it is almost impossible to pull it down far enough. You got to make sure you get your studs out. So you want to get a 3/16 and put it on the end of the stud, which will look like this. That's the end of the stud. 3/16. You're gonna get on the end of the stud right here, like this. And you want to take see? Now if you don't do that, now you'll be fighting yourself. You're just working against yourself, and you know, because the stud's longer than the room you need to get it out. Pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to tell you, just in case, you know, you don't do that to begin with. That'll make it a lot easier. So make sure you have all the studs out. Okay, make sure you got everything hooked back up. Hook your back line back up. Make sure you got 2 new O-rings. Hook your pressure switch, this one right here, back up. Go ahead and plug it back up. Get all 4 of your bolts in, tightened up, and you might lose a little bit of power steering fluid, so make sure you add it, because whenever you undo the bottom hose there, some might come out. And don't forget you took the battery out of the battery tray, which goes right here. You get your bolt here, and a bolt down here. Take your battery tray out, makes life a lot easier over here. And let's see, and then I'm gonna hook all that back up, put the belt back on, and I'm gonna vacuum this out. Be right back. Alright, we're filling it up. This one's 1 pound, 14 ounces, so almost 2 pounds. If you don't have a way of measuring it, I got a scale I use, but if you don't have a way of measuring it, the safest thing to do is, depending on the weather, if it's not a very, very hot day, keep your low side between 25 and 30, your high side about 150. If it's a really warm day, of course, it's going to be higher. But always add slowly. Let everything pressurize if you don't have a way of measuring it. And never, ever let this get over 250. Never. I don't care how hot it is outside. Don't let it get over 250. You want it between, on a real hot day, 225 tops. On a day like today, which is about 70, 150, 28. That's absolutely perfect. Your dryer should be cold to the touch on the low side. Let's come in there and see how it's doing inside. So like I said, if you don't have a way of measuring it, keep the pressures low on it when it's not very hot out. If it's hot out, the pressure's going to be higher because the head pressure on the condenser and everything else. I'm not going to go ahead and explain everything why, but it's going to be higher. So make sure, if you don't have a way of measuring your Freon, take it slow. Remember, a pound is 16 ounces. So if it calls for, this one's a pound and 14 ounces, which is just shy of 2 pounds. So a can is 12 ounces. So if you're doing it in cans, you're 4 ounces shy of a pound. So remember all of that when you're adding, because the worst thing you can do, you can be low on it and you're not going to hurt a thing. It might cycle, it might not cool that great, that's fine. But if you put too much too fast, you can blow out, especially a weak compressor, blow out a compressor, a hose that's weak, and you can do a catastrophic damage to the AC system. And so unnecessarily. But this one's just fine in the 20s, and it's about 70 out. Of course, it won't get down that low when it gets real hot. It'll probably, you know, on a real hot day, on a good AC system, you should be able to get it in the 40s. If it gets like 90 or 100 degrees. But right now, like I said, it's still springtime, so you're gonna get them ice cold. So you can really overcharge them in the springtime if you're not careful, because the head temperature is so low. And then when it gets hotter, that head temperature is going to go up, and that Freon's going to expand, and you're going to have high temps, and you're going to have a high temp on that high side. So make sure you do not overfill. It's better to underfill than to overfill. And this is it. Yeah, come on. See you next time at Tim's Auto.